If you thought that the Hawks were done making moves, think again. They've already landed Kristaps Porzingis. They fleeced the Pelicans in a draft night trade. And now they've got one of the biggest trade exceptions in the entire NBA. Atlanta is holding a $25.3 million traded exception. And that, my friends, is an absolute cheat code. And today I'm breaking down what this means, how the Hawks can use it, and 4 players they could realistically target without sending much or anyone back at all. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, here's a quick breakdown of the TPE, so to speak, and what this means for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, when the Hawks traded Dejounte Murray to New Orleans, they created a $25.3 million traded player exception, or TPE. This lets Atlanta absorb a contract up to that amount without sending back a matching salary. If you know anything about the NBA, in order to trade, the 2 salaries on both ends have to match up, and this would allow the Atlanta Hawks not to have to do that. So if the Hawks wanted to add a $21 million player, they could do so without including any big contracts on their end. Now, for those saying, oh, this is good, this opens up huge doors for the Atlanta Hawks. Only the Brooklyn Nets have this similar flexibility right now. Most teams tied up in cap restraints due to that second level apron construction, but the Hawks, they have plenty of room to play. Now, let's talk potential targets going forward. First up, Nickeil Alexander-Walker out of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, he's a versatile combo guard who shot nearly 40% from deep last year and plays aggressive perimeter defense. 2 things that the Atlanta Hawks desperately need off the bench. Now, he's on a $4.3 million deal right now, which could be easily absorbable, but here's the kicker. There is something interesting with Minnesota where they just re-signed Naz Reid, and they may not be able to afford to keep Nickeil Alexander-Walker, opening up the door for a potential sign and trade kind of deal. The Hawks could use the TPE to absorb Nickeil Alexander-Walker's new salary and send back draft compensation or cap relief, and this makes it a low-risk, high-reward, and it wouldn't cost Atlanta any of their young core pieces. Now let's move to the second target, Dillon Brooks. Now, Dillon Brooks is polarizing, but you can't question his defense. He's one of the best wing defenders in the league, and he brings that kind of intensity and playoff experience that this young Hawks team could desperately use. He's currently making $21.1 million, well within that TPE range, and with Phoenix deep into the luxury tax, Atlanta could offer salary relief and a second rounder to make the deal work. Plug him into a lineup with, let's just say, Jalen Johnson, Zachary Richey, and Onyeka Okongwu, and can't forget about Dyson Daniels. That's a legit defensive unit. Next up, third option, it has to be Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Cam Johnson is a 6'8 sharpshooter who averaged 13.4 points on nearly 40% shooting from 3. He's got size, he's switchable, and he knows how to play without the basketball. Now, he's making $21.1 million. Again, something perfect for the TPE. And if Brooklyn is serious about rebuilding, Atlanta could absorb Johnson into the TPE and offer back some picks or flexibility going forward. Now, lastly, option number 4, let's talk about the wild card, Trey Murphy III. This one's kind of tough, but it's not impossible. Now, Trey Murphy is set to make $25 million next year, exactly the amount of the TPE. And with the Pelicans cap situation, they may not be able to pay everyone. Now, Trey Murphy is a 6'9 elite sharpshooter, and he's improving as a defender. He's kind of the guy that fits perfectly next to Trey, Jalen, and Zachary Richey, and he would offer a lot to this revamped Hawks team. This trade package would likely include Atlanta's own 2025 first-round pick, but the key is they keep the unprotected Pelicans pick, which could end up top 5. 2026 first-round pick for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, this is a smart play for the Atlanta Hawks. Basically, you could buy now without using any of your core and then getting an upside in Trey Murphy, which would instantly raise Atlanta's ceiling without giving up any of their long-term control. Now, real quick, let's talk about flexibility. Assuming the Hawks re-sign Caris LeVert for about $15 million, they could still be about $15 to $16 million under the luxury tax. That's enough to absorb mid-tier salaries with no problem. And if they're willing to move off of, I know there might be some people argue with me, Kobe Buffkin or Dominic Barlow, that frees up even more room, enough to bring in someone making over $20 million without going into the tax. So to sum it up, the Hawks have $25.3 million trade exception. They could target Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dillon Brooks, Cam Johnson, or even the wild card Trey Murphy III. They've got draft picks, cap flexibility, and a front office ready to strike. This sounds like a win-win-win situation to me. So I pose this question to you. Who would you trade for the $25 million cheat code? Is it someone I listed? If not, leave a comment down below. Let me know who you would trade for, and I may end up doing a video on it next. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. And like always, peace.